These hot and spicy wings, they the truth. And these wedges right here, light and fluffy. What more can you ask for? And they hot too. Come get them. What's really hot is the roof of my mouth.
Shedeur Sanders is making headlines, and not for anything that happened on the field. What started as a routine promotional event involving KFC turned into a data-driven brand play that caught NFL teams off guard. Sanders and his two brothers each gave away 250 KFC meals in their respective cities. It was pitched as a family bonding moment, part of a lighthearted off-season challenge orchestrated by their father, Deion Sanders. But in Cleveland, the response was different. The event drew long lines, major fan turnout, and attention that went well beyond expectations. It wasn't just a giveaway, it was a real-time demonstration of Shedeur's ability to draw crowds and engage a local market. That caught the NFL's attention. Because what looked like a standard PR move now has implications for rookie contracts, marketing leverage, and how teams evaluate off-field value. On the surface, the Sanders KFC campaign was straightforward. A playful competition between Deion Sanders' sons, each in a different city, handing out free meals to fans. The idea was simple: connect with the community, drive some social media content, and keep the family brand active. But Shedeur treated it differently. Rather than just pose for photos, he used the Cleveland event as a way to engage directly with his new market. He observed crowd behavior, paid attention to turnout patterns, and watched how people responded to his presence. According to people close to the event, this was not improvised. It was structured. The Sanders team filmed, documented, and evaluated the response, not just for publicity, but for insight. The result was a line of cars wrapped around the block, fans showing up hours early, and local media coverage that extended beyond sports. Employees at the restaurant reported being unprepared for the volume. Local reporters noted that even veteran Browns players rarely see turnouts like that without a game day setting.
Executives are whispering, texting, and calling emergency meetings because of one rookie quarterback and a bucket of chicken. That's right. What looked like a harmless KFC stunt, a lighthearted family challenge, dreamed up by Coach Prime, just pulled the curtain back on something way bigger than free food and photo ops.
This wasn't typical for a rookie. Most first-year players don't interact with their team's city until minicamp. Even then, it's usually limited to practice facilities and press obligations. Sanders made himself visible to the public on his own terms. More importantly, he turned a sponsored food giveaway into a branding proof of concept, something that could be referenced in future contract talks or endorsement deals. He didn't just show that he has fans. He showed that he can activate a market. NFL front offices took note, not just in Cleveland, but across the league. Because this type of fan reaction, before any actual game performance, changes how value is measured for rookie players, especially quarterbacks. Sanders has a football resume, but he also brings more than just on-field potential. He's active in music, releasing tracks that already circulate among fans. He manages his own public-facing image across platforms with production-level consistency, and he's already cultivated a social following that rivals many veterans in the league. His approach to the pre-draft period was also different. While others focused on combined drills and media interviews, Sanders worked on branding, content, and market engagement. The Cleveland KFC event was part of that broader strategy. He arrived in the NFL as more than just a rookie quarterback. He arrived with a developed off-field identity.
Because when contract talks start heating up, leverage is everything. NFL teams negotiate from the standpoint of what a player can do on the field, maybe sprinkle in some personality for endorsements. Shedeur flipped the script. He didn't just show that fans love him. He demonstrated, in real time, that he can ignite an entire city before even taking a single snap. That's Mark.
This isn't a distraction from football. It's part of a larger approach to managing a professional career in today's NFL, where media presence and marketability often influence sponsorships, endorsements, and negotiations. What sets Sanders apart is how early he started executing this plan. Most athletes build their off-field brand after proving themselves on the field. He's flipping that order. By demonstrating he can drive attention and connect with a city before throwing a single pass, he changes the way teams need to think about rookie value, not just in terms of wins and losses, but in business terms. And for teams in mid-sized markets like Cleveland, a player who can bring relevance and engagement may carry added weight. Sanders isn't approaching the NFL like most rookies. He's approaching it like a business launch. The event took place at a local KFC in Cleveland. It was scheduled to be short, casual, and promotional. Instead, it became a citywide event. Hundreds of fans showed up, many well before the scheduled start time. The line extended around the block. Some brought children. Others left work. A few even made signs welcoming Sanders to Cleveland. The reaction was significant, not just in size, but in tone. Fans treated him less like a new draftee and more like a franchise leader. Some even made comments referencing past quarterbacks, asking Sanders not to repeat those disappointments. There were no issues with security, no negative incidents, just steady, enthusiastic support for someone who hasn't yet played a snap. Sanders responded by signing autographs, shaking hands, and maintaining a visible, calm presence throughout. He didn't appear overwhelmed. Observers noted that he handled the crowd and the attention without issue, interacting with people while also staying alert to how the event was unfolding.
He's building his own machine, the KFC stunt. That wasn't just about handing out food. It was a statement, a demonstration of his ability to move people, build crowds, and create moments that go viral without even trying. And here's what Cleveland Browns fans don't realize yet. They're about to witness a quarterback who's...
One staff member noted he didn't just stand and greet fans. He moved through the line, asking people questions, shaking hands, and even listening to feedback about the team. It wasn't a celebrity moment. It felt more like a soft launch for a product, except the product was himself. The media coverage afterward focused on the surprise scale of the turnout. For Cleveland, which has gone through multiple quarterback changes in recent years, the arrival of someone who immediately draws this kind of attention feels different, and it gave the Browns front office an unexpected data point. Their new quarterback can generate fan interest at a level more typical of veteran stars. It also gave Sanders something else, proof that he can move local sentiment before ever taking the field. In a league that increasingly monetizes visibility, that kind of response matters, and it may begin to factor into how teams calculate player value going forward. One moment stood out during the event. A fan in the crowd jokingly referenced veteran quarterback Joe Flacco, yelling something along the lines of, "We don't need Flacco, we need Shedeur." It could have been a throwaway line, but the way Sanders handled it became another talking point.
Buzzing with energy that you just can't buy with billboards or commercials. For Shedeur, this wasn't about beating his brothers in some family bragging rights competition. It was about proving something far bigger, that he could command the attention, respect, and passion of an entire city before even suiting up. That's why this so-called KFC challenge is being replayed in NFL offices across the country. Because it didn't just reveal who won a fun family.
He didn't ignore it. He also didn't escalate it. Instead, he smiled and responded calmly, "Nah, Flacco's the vet, much respect." Then he kept moving. It was a brief exchange, but it reflected an understanding of media optics and crowd dynamics. Sanders acknowledged the fans' excitement while sidestepping any perception of disrespect toward an experienced player. It's the type of moment many rookies struggle with, getting caught up in crowd energy and making a misstep that becomes a headline. Sanders avoided that. It also demonstrated something else, that he understands how quickly narratives can form in this league and that every word counts. The Flacco moment wasn't about trash talk. It was about control. Sanders showed he could handle a fan-driven spotlight without losing composure or making it about himself. Sanders didn't flinch, didn't feed the headline, and didn't shift the tone. He understood the setting and stayed measured. That kind of composure isn't common in rookies, and teams notice that fast. And for the Browns, it's a sign they may have more than just a new player. They may have a prepared public figure.
For hope. And Shedeur Sanders was the first real taste of it they'd had in years. It wasn't just the turnout, though. It was the way people reacted when they finally got close to him. Fans weren't treating him like some college kid who just rolled into town. They treated him like a franchise cornerstone, like the savior they've been waiting for since the days of Bernie Kosar. Some were asking for selfies, others were shaking his hand like he was already the mayor, and a few even brought...
The NFL has systems in place to evaluate player talent. Scouting reports, combine metrics, private workouts, interviews. But Shedeur just introduced a new variable, public market impact. He didn't do it with a touchdown pass. He did it by showing that he can pull people out of their homes and into a fast food parking lot on a weekday. For executives and marketing departments, this creates a new layer of conversation. If a rookie can build this level of momentum before their first game, what does that mean for media strategy, merchandise sales, and fan engagement? Most rookies are introduced to the public by the team. Press releases, media day photos, Community events arranged months in advance. Shedeur flipped that process. He showed up on his own terms, brought the cameras with him, and let the results speak for themselves.
My stomach is all the way on E. I'm gonna need a couple of them fill-ups.
Too easy.
Yes, sir.
I got you.
Thank you. You are the man. Thank you, sir.
Legendary. That was a good vibe. Yeah.
The fans loved it. They cheered even louder. And suddenly,
That kind of autonomy is rare for first-year players. And it's why marketing directors and player personnel offices are now paying attention. Because if this approach scales, if more players start building direct fan pipelines before they ever play, it shifts how teams manage narratives, branding, and even salary discussions. It also puts pressure on teams to adapt, especially in cities where football is both business and identity. Sanders just gave the NFL a new metric to consider: public market impact. Before taking a snap, he proved he can activate a fan base. That changes how rookies are evaluated, beyond talent to influence. It's now a question of branding, leverage, and how teams adapt to that shift. NFL teams are built to measure performance, not presence. But Shedeur's turnout forced a new kind of audit: how visible, how followed, how marketable. It's not in the scouting report, but it matters. And as front offices rethink value, Sanders may be the template they didn't know they needed. Shedeur hasn't played it down in the NFL, but he's already changed the conversation around what rookies can do off the field. He's not waiting for brands to come to him. He's not waiting for the Browns to introduce him to Cleveland.
Coach Prime Sanders built his career on more than just being one of the greatest athletes to ever step on the field. He turned himself into a brand, a walking, talking, larger-than-life personality who blurred the line between entertainment and sports. Now,
he's doing it himself and getting results. This isn't about a single event or a one-time viral moment. It's about a shift in how players think about their position in the league, not just as athletes, but as market operators. Cleveland may have drafted a quarterback, but they also landed someone who understands how to lead both on and off the field. The NFL will keep watching, because if Shedeur model catches on, the next generation of rookies won't be asking for media attention. They'll already have it.